I want to welcome all of you to ACCG. So, today we're going to be talking about Lugia. Lugia and Archeops, actually. So, these cards have sort of made pretty much every deck relevant again. Let me correct that. Every deck that was something and then slowly got outpaced by decks like Mew and Palkia and so forth. So, today we're going to be talking about the combination of Lugia and our friend Gengar. So, Single Strike has made it come back in a very strong way, as the Lugia and Archeops acceleration engine is significantly stronger than the Houndoom and Houndour engine, right? So, let's go ahead and take a quick little look at this here, what we have. So, Archeops and Lugia, pretty straightforward, right? So, the thing that's good about Lugia, right, is that he has the attack Arrow Dive, in opposed to his first attack, which is just to draw 3 cards if you attack, which could be good going second, but we're more focused on that Arrow Dive, right? So, him and his Tempest Dive V-Star counterpart both have that discard a stadium in play, which is very important in this meta because of the Temple of Xenos and of course, Path to the Peak, which will always be able to stop our Vs with the rule box, right? So we're going to want to use the Tempest Dive or our Pumpkaboo to get rid of those stadiums, right? Or play our own Stadium Lost City, which will, of course, knock out that other stadium and stop single prize decks like Radiant Charizard and against our matchup, probably the amazing rare Ryoku, and save us from getting knocked out, right? So we're going to go ahead and take a look at why Gengar here is a superb choice to pair off with Lugia. Besides being a dark type, which means, hey, Mew, see you later, this guy can take knockouts incredibly easy on pretty much all your Vs that you'll be up against, and his VMAX can take knockouts very, very easily against V-Stars, and very little trouble against VMAXs, right? So, the reason being is because Single Strike Energy itself adds 20 damage to attacks, and his Pain Explosion, yeah, hurts himself by 3, but with 190, if you have just two out of those 3 dark requirements met, right? That's plus 40. That's 230. You know what that means? That means any V. Sayonara. I mean, yes, you'll need an additional, make all 3 of them Single Strike Energy to get that 250, which will take out big Charm Vs, but at the same time, this Painful Explosion attack is incredible, paired off with the Energy Acceleration. So, we're going to go ahead and just give this guy a thumbs up for being the OG Single Strike Dark Swinger, right? So, we'll take him over Umbreon pretty much any day as a standalone Dark Pokemon. So, that said, we'll switch off and look at his VMAX, right? So, VMAX, this guy, let's just talk about this guy for a second, right? So, the Fear and Panic in of itself is already a destructive force when you're paired against Pokemon that are Vs and, of course, GXs, but G-Max Swallow Up, right? You won't be able to attack, which is a shame, but guess what? Hiding Energy exists, and Hiding Energy is a special energy, right? So, we can attach that during the next turn. This Pokemon can't attack, right? Just swap him out. Hiding Energy, his retreat becomes nothing. Swap him out. Pull him out. G-Max Swallow Up. Pull him out. You just hit, I'm guessing, a G-Max Swallow Up for probably plus 40, since 2 of those will be Single Strikes, right? 1 will be the Hiding Energy, so you just hit for 290. And then you gotta send something else in and just crop dust whatever's there, right? Something simple like Crobat, just a simple attack, bong, 70 damage will be more than enough to take the knockout on anything that you just did. 290 damage too if it's still breathing, right? So go ahead and send that Crobat in and erase, delete, get rid of that bad boy. Drapion's in here for our Rapid Strike matchups. Not so much Mew, as you know, we have Gengar to deal with that. But we're weak to fighting, so Rapid Strike is important. We want to get rid of those as fast as possible. Yeah, he's also weak to fighting, but being able to just throw him in and just swing immediately is really good. So we can take a lot of knockouts with Drapion, and he's a dark Pokemon, so great synergy there with the dark deck. It's not in this deck build, but I suggest playing Peers. If you want to search them out faster, maybe sacrifice a Professor's Research, sacrifice maybe one of these capture energies or one of your search engines, right? I wouldn't sacrifice any of your urns. These are important to recycle your energy. So you're on a total of 15 energy in your deck, so it's important to recycle with Urn of Vitality. That way you get your single strike energies back again, right? So we have a new sort of Boss's Order card with additional effect, which is helpful in Serena, right? So I suggest playing this instead of playing two bosses. But then again, this whole deck is very much so interchangeable, right? So you can take out his Swain Ball, throw in that Piers that we were talking about, take out a boss, add a Serena. None of this is really set in stone as this is the deck you need to play. There's plenty of variables of it. As long as you're running the Lugia, the Archeops, and then the Gengar, right? Everything else can be... I mean, you know what? Honestly, I wouldn't remove this one card here. Maybe Menafee, but you know that bench protection is important, especially in a meta where Rapid Strike Urshifu is making a return, and maybe even possibly Jolteon, because Lugia just makes all those decks very relevant. So maybe the Menafee keep, right? But definitely the Pumpkaboo. You're gonna want that stadium removal. Sometimes it's not worth wasting the attack with Lugia and just jumping right into this Gengar attack instead, or Drapion if the situation needs it. So these are all things you need to consider as possible outcomes and possible things that you need to encounter and deal with, right? So yeah, what's great about this deck is its core, right? And that's the important word there, core. It consists of 3 Archeops, right? 3 Gengar, the 2 Gengar VMAX, the 3 Lugia, and the 3 Lugia V-Star. Quite literally, besides the 2 little guys down here, everything else is interchangeable. Now, of course, you want to keep some of these searches, right? You want to keep your 4 Urn of Vitalities as well as your energies. You kind of want to keep this much energy. Going over that much energy, like 15's pushing it. You know, I would maybe even cut, a capture or something, because you really don't need that much energy when you can recycle it with Urn, right? So, this is just, having this much energy is pretty good. I wouldn't go over this. So just be mindful of what you play around with here. And that's pretty much it. This deck profile is very strong for this meta, as Mew is still very much a presence. And with Gengar VMAX getting gassed up very easily, as you'll be able to get, just literally, just 3 of these cards will gas up a VMAX. So you could have that one extra, maybe a double turbo if you want to throw it on Lugia or something. Yeah, just one. Just one attack from VMAX Gengar will out pretty much almost all the opposition that you'll be up against when you put him with those single strike energies, as I said earlier. So definitely, if you used to play Gengar, hey, pick up some copies of Lugia and the Archeops, use this engine, and you're going to be having a lot of fun in today's meta. A lot of fun, because Gengar is back. Single strike as a whole is back because of Lugia. So we'll go ahead and wrap things up today. I got another few videos to publish here in the series of Lugia and what he does for the meta. So stay tuned to look into more videos. I think I have a Terrell on one coming up next, so stay tuned for that. That should be fancy. But in terms of playability, I'm pretty sure Gengar is the go-to single strike Pokemon over everything else because of that dark typing. That dark typing is everything in this meta. Alrighty, so thanks for tuning in, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, let YouTube know that this is a video worth watching. I'm hoping that you guys picked up something. Maybe Gengar was sitting on the back shelf of your house somewhere, and you're like, oh, now he's relevant again. I didn't think about that. So, yeah, hope you guys pick something up. And of course, remember to, from the top rope, elbow drop onto that bell. Give it a good ring, and let YouTube know this is where you will learn all the good stuff. So, take care, have a good day, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. So long now.